Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am getting ready to stitch out Mystery, is it Wallflower Mystery Quilt or is it Mystery Wallflower Quilt? I don't even know what it's called, but I'm getting ready to stitch out August. I just finished the Miki Kim version because I've been doing two versions. I've been doing one with the scan and cut and one without, and quite honestly, this one, I don't even think it's worth it for you to do it with the scan and cut. I would just do it without. So here are this is what it looks like. This is the Kimberbell version. It is so cute. I loved this. This is like one of my favorite stitch outs ever because it is so adorable. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's hoop up. So I'm going to be using, this is my Miki Kim version. Isn't that the dandelion flower part so cute? So I'm going to unhoop this. These are the fabrics we're going to be using. These are the colors, the thread colors that we're going to be using. So let me go ahead and put these to the side. I'm going to stitch one out right now. I'm going to do the mirrored version right now. And then in class, I will do the normal version. So I'm going to take this. You're going to need, these are your fabrics, your background fabrics stabilized with Shape Flex. These are your applique fabrics. And then you're going to need your batting, and you're also going to need your foam. This one is a piece I've been using. So I'm going to put this over by the machine and let's hoop up. So I'm using my 7x12 hoop. I'm going to snug it all the way up to the top. Oh my goodness. My dogs have been in here all day saying, please play with me, so I keep playing frisbee with them. Oh my god, I'm saying all the words that are making them get excited. I'm going to cut one of these off. So the top one, let's go ahead and cut that one off. I like to cut from the back side, and I can see I'm going to cut right in the middle of them. You do have special hooping instructions. I'll just put this over here to be trimmed later. And this one I'm going to put up on the top. You get more bang for your buck if you kind of leave your stabilizer on the roll or your design on the muslin. There's about 1/8 of an inch. I have it peek out from underneath like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something like that. I'm going to take this and just make it taut. I figure I'm on a roll. I might as well finish. If I put it away, then I kind of forget. I'm like, what was I doing? Okay. This, I'm going to actually pull it back one more time. Okay. Looks good. I'm going to take this top one and I am going to roll it up so that it doesn't accidentally get folded underneath. Learned my lesson finally. You're like, why doesn't she learn her lesson? I don't know why. I must be obtuse. Okay, here we go. I'm going to slide that onto the machine. And then we'll load our design. Here we go. All right, I already sent my design over via design database transfer, which I love. And it's so strange for me not to be using USBs all the time, but I used to buy so many USBs and sometimes they'd go bad and then I couldn't find them. This is so much better. I really encourage you to take the dive and use design database transfer. Also lets you view your designs too, so you don't have to buy a separate program. So I'm going to go here to the pocket. I am on a Brother Avenir, and this is where you go if you did design database transfer. If you did it via USB, you're going to touch that. So I'm going to touch this. And I already loaded this design. This is the 6x8. I think it's Spring 6. And this one's 6x8. I'm going to go ahead and set it. And then I'm going to add And I'm going to come back here to my design database transfer. And this is the design that we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and set that design. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mirror image it. So that when we do our class, it's going to be this way. And if you want to save this right now, don't save it actually, because we do need to, alignment is not centered. You need to take this design and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom into 200%, and the bottom of the embroidery design has to be on the bottom of the quilting. You're going to see down here I have 2 orange lines right here on the bottom. You want this red line to be on the bottom orange line. Don't use your finger because the design might move left or right. You're going to come up here to edit, and you're going to touch your move key, or else you might have something that looks like this with arrows. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm just going to bring it down. And you want that red line to line up with the bottom one. So I went a little bit too far. That looks good. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go back to 100%. And that's what it should look like. Okay. All right, I told you that I'm going to mirror image. So I'm going to mirror image this. So the red dots are around the main embroidery design. I'm just going to mirror image that. And then I'm going to touch the one behind it. And I'm going to mirror image that. So I'm mirror imaging my background quilting and I'm mirror imaging my design. So I'm going to go ahead and touch embroidery because that one's ready to go. In my layout screen, those are combined. I'm going to touch layout, move, and I'm going to scoot that all the way up. Since my hoop is on, it will not allow it to go outside of the embroidery field. When we get together to do our class, we will load the design again. We'll just leave it as is, but I'm going to do the mirror image first. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And I have a color left in here from before. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I like to touch this button down here, and that's going to allow me to go forward and backward stitches. Here it's telling me it wants to do the placement line for my batting. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit start. No. Sorry, I'm telling no to Poppy because she is jumping on Momo. She needs a little discipline every once in a while. I don't know why she thinks she rules the roost the way she does. Okay, while it's doing this, I'm going to go ahead and let's spray. Here's my dime spray tent. Here's the spray that I like to use. I have a piece of dirty cardboard in here. I'm just going to keep using that, and I'll change that out every once in a while. Here's my batting. You have one side that's nubbier than the other side. This is your wrong side. You're going to spray that, and we're going to put that down. Don't go crazy. You don't need so much spray. And then I'm going to spray my background fabric right here. Back side. Ooh, that was a lot. All right. Let's come on over here. We're going to lay this down. Nubbier side goes down. I cut mine to size. So you're just going to lay it right inside of that placement stitch. And then grab your background fabric and you're going to lay this down. You want about 1.5 inches all the way around. I probably have 1 inch down on the bottom, but that's okay. Close enough. And then we're going to skip some steps. So that's why you want to be on this page. So how do I get to this page if you're not there? You're going to touch this button down here where you go forward and backward stitches. And we're going to skip this. This is the tack down for the batting. Our batting is cut to size. This is turquoise's placement. Orange is tack down. This is the placement stitch for the background. Ours is already placed. But we will do this. This is going to be the tack down for the background. Do a color you can see. Don't do white. I still have my crush in here, which is kind of a mauve, and I'm going to use that. And I have lost my red piece of fabric. Where is it? Uh-oh. Tickle your fabric. Sorry. Tickle your fabric. Make sure everything is laying flat. I call it tickling. Ha-ha! Where did I put my red piece of fabric? I don't see it. Gonna have to find it. Okay. Next step, if you look at your screen, it's going to be your quilting stitch. This is what you should see. I'm going to use Pearl. Pearl's my new favorite color. I like it because linen really blends and pearl almost pops. So it's just enough contrast. Go ahead and do your quilting stitch. This is going to take 3 minutes. Okay, if you look at your instructions, this is really important. You got to pay attention to them because sometimes our designs are not centered. Oop, sorry, hang on. Sorry about that. Anyways, right here, you're going to see, if doing block by block quilting, skip to machine step 3. So that there is a placement and there is a background tacked on, we're going to skip to this step right here, which is going to be Flower 1 base placement line for your flexi foam. So we're going to do that. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was just playing tug of war. So I'm going to touch that just to get that off my screen. You're going to see right here, that's a placement stitch. That's going to be the tack down, but we've already done all of that. We're going to start right with that step, and that is going to be a placement stitch for our flexi foam. I'm going to put in a color that you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and put in Wildflower because the flower is going to be red. But if you look at your instructions, it says color doesn't make a difference. And anytime you see that box with the diagonal lines, that is that's saying just use a neutral color. All right, here we go. And you want to get your flexi foam. Did you see my last one? I was hoarding. I wonder if this will work. If this will work and I can put this down. Nope. But it'll work for something else. So I'm just going to keep it. But we'll put this one down because this one's going to work. I'm just going to put it down like that. And remember, I don't want your fingers anywhere where they can go under the needle. So you're going to be using your stilettos or your spatulas or something else. It's just too tempting to reach your finger in there, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim this. So I can tell this is Pellon Flex Foam. I prefer the Kimberbell foam because it's a little bit thinner. But I mean, the Flex Foam is going to give you a little bit more poof. So I guess it depends on like the look you're going for, right? Okay, here we go. And here we go. There we go. All right, next step. You would think it's the fabric, but no, it isn't. We are doing a stem, and it wants you to do it in your lighter green, so you're going to use avocado if you're using the thread set. And if you are just joining us, you can still jump in and do this with us. I mean, you'd have to do a little bit of catch up, but this quilt is pretty easy. So I would say just get it. Just get the stuff. We still make the kits. We can get you the, we can get, so mine set, look, red light, which means I can't go. And then it showed me a picture on my screen. Make sure the frame is pushed back as far as possible and the lever is pulled forward. And look, I just didn't pull down the lever. I do that probably like 10% of the time. I never thread. I have lots of things that I don't do right. All right, this is just a minute of stitching. It's going to do a stem down. It's going to do a stem up. And now it wants to do the cutie patootie little ball flowers, and it's calling for haze. To me, it's periwinkle. I want to rename some of these colors because this, to me, is periwinkle. Because periwinkle, to me, is a blue purple. And that's what this looks like. But we'll just go with haze. I'm trying not to complain. Because when we were in Korea or Japan, somewhere in our travels, I read this, something came up on my news feed, and it said, these are the people you don't want to travel with. And they have these traits, these characteristics. And then the first one was, does not like to get up early. I don't like to get up early. but I do get up early. Like if I have to get up early, I get up early, right? So the second thing was doesn't like to walk. I don't like to walk, but I really don't complain about walking. But I don't like to walk because I don't like physical activity. I think in my past life I was a rock because that's like how I like to just be stationary. And then it says people that complain a lot. And I thought, oh no, I love complaining. So I've been trying not to complain because who wants to listen to somebody that complains all the time, right? And then what else did it say? It said, I think that picky eaters. And I was like, oh, sometimes I'm a picky eater. So I was reading this to Patrick because we were laughing about it. I was like, oh no, this is all me. But it is me, but it's not really me because I'm kind of picky, but I still eat a lot. And I don't like to walk, but I'll walk and I'll not complain about it. And I don't like to get up early, but I'll get up early when I need to. So it's a toss-up. I think I'm actually pretty good to travel with. Uh-oh. I hear dogs. Hairy creatures. No! I'm not playing with you right now. Go lay down. No. Oh my. I tell them no, but then I go and play with them because they're so cute. They're so cute. Okay, this is 3 minutes of stitching. So just go ahead and let it stitch. right. Let's see. Now it wants you to do the placement stitch for the leaves. Color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave the haze in for that. So I'm just going to hit start. And then I'm going to give my green fabric a little shot of spray. Go ahead and lay this down. Do your tack down. I'm still leaving the haze in. There's going to be a nice beefy satin stitch on top of this. So we are on this step right here. So it's going to do the tack down, and then we're going to trim the fabric close to the satin stitch. And then you're going to put in your aloe, and it is going to do a giant stem, and it's going to do the satin stitch on the leaves. So go ahead, and I'm going to pull this back. Let's go ahead and trim this. It is just a beautiful day here today. It got overcast. It looks like it's actually maybe going to rain. Maybe. We could use some rain here. I know there's parts in the country where they're just getting too much rain, but that is not us. When I went on the hike yesterday with the dogs, like everything felt so crunchy. It was like, ugh. Being out west, you worry about that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in my aloe. Seven minutes of stitching, so just go ahead and let it run. I love the colors in this stitch out, so pretty. after we finish the aloe, we are going to be putting in, what are we putting in? It looks like light pink, so pink lemonade. We're going to be putting in pink lemonade. And you're going to want your piece of, I think this is royal icing. Go ahead and give that a little shot of spray. And remember, I'm doing the mirror image right now. So if you don't want the mirror image, just load them as they come in. When I do the class, I'm just going to load it as it comes in. All right. All right. Now that it's done that, I'm going to go ahead and put in pink lemonade, best pink in the world. Not too bright, not too light, just right. Right? And this is going to do a placement line, and the piece of fabric you're going to put down is that royal icing. You want to make sure you have some shape flex on the back. If you don't, you're going to see some shadowing. Oh my goodness. Poppy is being so naughty. I have food on my sewing table and she's trying to get to it. She is master of stealing food. And, you know, she pretends like she's just not even paying attention. Like she doesn't even care. And then next thing you know, she's got your dinner. We're pretty good. We know not to leave stuff around where she can get it, but when we have guests over who aren't used to having dogs, she helps herself. She doesn't bake because she goes, I just help myself and take what I want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Make sure you cover the whole thing. And then do your tack down. And then you're going to trim. You want to use curved straight. These are curved, so one curve here and one curve here. These are curved straight. And curved straight, anytime it says trim as desired, something like that, raw edge applique, where you're not going to cut right to the stitch, you want to use curved straight because you'll have you'll be able to control that cut edge better with this. If you use the curved like this, then you get these little smiley face cuts if you just cut from here to here. So that's why I prefer these. You should have a pair of these in your stash. They're just the best. I actually had these for maybe like 5 years and I never used them. And then one day I couldn't find my curve, so I used these and I was like, oh, it was like the lights shine down from the heavens. I was like, oh my God, those are incredible. I used to think like curve was like, that was it. That's what you used for everything. No. Curve straight is so much more appropriate sometimes. Okay, I'm going to slide this off because I'm going to twirl it around on my lap. Okay, here we go. Oh, I scan and cut this for my Mickey Kim, and I was like, I put down each little piece, and then when I got to the part where it said, this is raw edge, I was like, okay, that was like not good. Because then it was, you know, there was no like satin stitch to cover over the edges. Then they were kind of, they didn't look great. And so I ended up redoing it. And I was like, okay, maybe scan and cut isn't the way to go all the time. There are times where, no, you do not want to scan and cut. And, you know, if you don't want to do this and you don't want raw edge, you can also you could do glitter, right? You could do HTV, like some white glitter would look amazing right now. Sorry, dragging the cord around. You know, I had a husky, and if you look up huskies, they're considered high energy dogs. Oh my goodness. Huskies are nothing compared to Australian Shepherds. Is that adorable? And that's it. There's no other stitch. So that's why you don't want to scan and cut this. If you do, you want to make it several clicks larger, but I would recommend just putting it down and then trimming it as per the instructions. Okay, next step. Next step, it wants you to go ahead and put in your avocado, and you're going to stitch flower 4 stem and leaves fill and flower 1 leaves detail. So go ahead and put in your avocado, which is this lighter green. And this is going to be 3 minutes of stitching. We only have, let's see, we're on step number 17. So we only have, after this, 4 more steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more steps. That looks so good. The avocado looks so good on that darker green. What? 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 No. No. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. I was deep in thought, and Poppy is, oh, I'm going to have to take that out of the video, huh? She was pawing at me, so I'm trying to put the next color in. So you are, the next color you're going to put in is your wildflower, because you're going to do the center part on that flower. And I'm going to have to remove a little bit of video. Pops, no! Sorry. It's like a land shark. Ooh. She took over my seat. Okay, go ahead and just stitch out this part. And then after we do this, then we're going to do the placement for flower 1. So we're going to be putting down your red fabric. This is what I get. I get no seat because she took over my seat. And I guess she's just going to watch the stitching. Okay, let me go get my fabric. I usually use a large ottoman. Here's my fabric. I should show you the right side of it. I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. I usually use a larger ottoman because then she'll sit on the ottoman with me. But she's the queen. All right. We know where that piece of fabric is going to go because it goes right over the foam. So I'm going to skip this next step, which is the placement stitch. I'm going to just say okay to that. And then I'm going to fast forward through that. I'm going to do the tack down. So orange is tack down. Sorry for the heavy breathing. I'm going to lay this down right over. And I'm going to stitch the tack down and then we'll trim. She's just so cute. She's so cute. I just can't kick her out. So do your tack down and then we're going to trim. I just love kissing her and hugging her. And then you have that guy over there. Look at him looking at us. I try to make sure, like, I try to love my babies equally, just like I do with my kids. So I will give him lots of hugs and kisses too. She's just pushier. Oh my God, the paw. I'm getting the paw. Hope you can see this. I'm like standing and reaching. Whoop! Reaching around. I know. Patrick's like, just create them. I just can't do that. Oh, is that so cute? Look how cute that is. All right, next step. It wants you to, so we did the trim. Now it wants you to stitch the flower 1 satin outline. Is that right? No. No, it's not. Is it the satin outline? Yes, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. And then I'm going to hit start. It's going to do the satin outline. Oh, look at her. She just got down. So now I can sit. And then after this, we're going to put our damson in. And it is going to stitch the little dandelion flower. And then we're done. Oh my goodness, I hope Patrick comes home soon because I give in to my dogs. Every time they come over, I'm like, okay, yes, I will throw the F-R-I-S-B-E-E. I will play tug of war with the R-O-P-E. I really want to do the September block too because I have that now. And so I'm thinking, do I have time? Can I get that done as well? That is so cute, and that flexi foam just gives it the perfect little amount of puffiness. Okay, take out your wildflower. Let's put in your damson. I was totally like daydreaming when I usually will pause the video or I'll start right away, but I was daydreaming when I was battling Poppy. Okay, here we go. It says magenta on the screen, but you know this isn't magenta. Just let it stitch. I'm going to put a note that that I did the mirror image for the recording. are done with this block, and isn't it gorgeous? I mean, the colors are so pretty. They look so amazing together. That dandelion block is like the cutest ever. I mean, the stitching is so just beautiful. I absolutely love this one. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you on August 1st for our live class. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and to subscribe. And if you want to join us for this project, we still have kits at the store. Thanks so much. Bye.